All right. Welcome, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, I can hear you just fine.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going to give a couple more minutes for others to join us, and then we'll begin with the presentation. If you have any questions at any time, just let me know. You can either send me a little, I guess, a chat message right there, or just go ahead and, interrupt me. Alrighty, let's see what happened. There we go. All right, so I'll go ahead and get started. First of all, my name is Cindy Parrott. I am the Education Service Advisor for the 88th Readiness Division Education Services. I'm located at JBLM, Washington. I will go over who your different ESSs are for the different education office we have throughout the 88 RD. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at our agenda. So these are some of the things that we're going to go over. I know this is tuition assistance webinar, but I like to hit up joint service transcript. Then we're going to go over Army Tuition Assistance Program, goarmyed.com, additional resources, national testing programs, as well as a live demonstration. Now, the live demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and do a disclaimer right now. It is a dummy account. So the information that you're seeing there is just made up, okay? All right, so the joint service transcript, it used to be arts transcript, but they changed that to the joint service transcript. So all the components, the military components, are all in one transcript now. It shows all the courses that you completed while you were in service. So if you were a prior service in Marine Corps, it's now also in the joint service transcript. It shows all of your military occupations that you've held. And if you've taken any college level tests, it would also show there, like your CLEP tests, your college level examination programs. If you have other learning experience, let's say, for instance, you took kind of like a on-the-job training with the trades, it will show that too in your joint service transcript. If you want to take a look what's in your JST, the video is right here, https://jst.doded.mil. If there is something missing in your JST and you have the certificate of completion, things like that, you can go ahead and send that over to the JST people, and their email is jst@doded.mil. So right here, this is a sample of what the JST will look like. Obviously, I just took a screenshot of the first page, but this could vary. Some JST is 5 pages long, sometimes it's 20 pages long. It depends on how long you've been in the service, how many military courses you've taken, so on and so forth. I want to highlight a couple things here. So under basic combat training where it says first aid, you see 1 semester hours, and it has an L next to it. So this is the ACES, the American Council of Education. They went over and evaluated the courses that the military has completed, and they provided recommendation of credits towards college degree. So right here under first aid, they recommend 1 semester hours towards either physical training, electives, whatever your school will deem this to go under. Where it says lower level, those are courses that are typically 100, 200, or 1,000 or 2,000, whichever catalog series that your colleges is using, that's what it will fall under. If you see V right here, that is vocational. Oops, let's go back. Okay. And if you see U, uniform, it would be for upper level. So that would be your 300, your 400, so on and so forth. Like I said, if there's something missing in your JST, I would highly suggest to contact JST directly via email and provide them the documentation so that they may update your JST account. Any questions about the JST? Okay. So this is goarmyed.com. I just took a screenshot of the page, but when we do the live demonstration, I will go over some of the function and the links that is very helpful for soldiers when they're conducting their education researches, or they're trying to take a look at what's going on with their account. So tuition assistance program, we're going to go over that right now, is for academic programs. Okay, they're for your associates if you haven't gotten associates yet, towards your bachelor's, your master's degree, or certificate program. The tuition limit for undergrad, that's your associates and bachelor's, is 130 semesters of undergraduate program credits. So let me give you an example. If you already have college credits and you have, let's say, 40, that's not going to count against your 130 semester. You start fresh, okay? If you come in and started taking classes and let's say using tuition assistance, you've taken 10 credits, which is going to count against your 130. If you come in with credits, it's not going to count, but if you start using, then it's going to count against your tuition limit. Once you hit 130 semester hours, you're done. GoArmyEd will place a hold on your account, letting you know that you can't use TA anymore and that you'd have to pay out of pocket for the rest of the classes. If you're going for your graduate program, that's your master's degree or graduate certificate, you're looking at 39 semester hours towards your graduate program. If you're going for certificate, now I said graduate certificate, and this one says certificate program. It depends on how the school reports it in GoArmyEd. It may go towards the graduate program, it may go towards certificate program. It just depends on how they report the program in GoArmyEd. I want to say 99% of the time it goes towards the certificate program, but there is that one school, one program that goes towards the graduate program tuition limit. So if you're taking certificate, it can be an undergrad or a graduate level certificate. It will be, your limit is 21 semester hours. All right. Let's see. All right, so tuition cost right now is 16 semester hours per fiscal year. So fiscal year starts 1 October, ends 30 September. It's $250 per semester hours or $166 per quarter hours. A lot of the schools in Washington, Oregon, and Idaho states go by quarter hours. The system will automatically convert it to semester hours, but they will still go by the 166 per quarter hour. Another questions I get about the $250 per semester and the 166 per quarter hour is that does it pay for tuition and other fees? The answer to that question would be it only pays for tuition cost. If there's administration fee, parking fee, gym fee, things like that, that the school add into your final bill, that's not going to be added into that's not going to be paid for by tuition assistance. We will just go strictly by tuition cost. TA is approved on a course-by-course basis. So if you're planning to take 5 classes that term, you have to submit a tuition assistance request for each individual classes. Now, a lot of our soldiers are saying, well, I put one in, why didn't the other 4 classes didn't get paid for? Oh, well, there was no TA request for the other 4 classes. So you have to make sure that every single class that you are going to take for that term has a TA request and it has been approved before saying, okay, well, TA is going to pay for it. Okay. This is very important. The next one is that you do have to submit your requests in GoArmyEd 5 business days prior to the start date. Now, with everything that's going on right now in the country, the 5 business days is a little bit harder because if there was something missing in your TA request, you would have to contact the school for additional document. And some of them, like myself, is teleworking. So if you contact the school directly, they may not get your message. Or if you try to email them, there may be a delay. Okay, so when you're requesting for TA, you need to make sure that you give yourself plenty of time before the start date. The system allows you to register in GoArmyEd at least 60 days prior to the start date. So if you know you're going to take a class in fall term, you can put in your TA request today. So that way you have plenty of time to get the documentation, get it approved. If something comes up, you can drop the class without any issue, things like that. Okay. Any questions about the TA semester hours and the cost? Okay. Alrighty. So there are 2 tiers in tuition assistance eligibility wise. They took away the 1 year after AIT hold requirement and 10 years time in service for going for a master's. So now they went by tier level. So you would be considered a tier 1 eligibility if you completed your AIT, your basic officer leaders course, warrant officer course, if you're a warrant officer or officer, okay? If you have never used tuition assistance at all, and you completed the military education that's required for your rank, you are considered tier 1, okay? If tier 2, on the other hand, if you've used tuition assistance and would like to continue using tuition assistance for your bachelor's, master's, certificate, whatever it is, and you are, let's say, for instance, sergeant first class, captain, or an officer, there is an additional requirement for you. You do have to complete the ALC Captain's Career course if you're an officer, or Warrant Officer Advanced course if you're an officer. Now, there is an exception to policy at this time because of COVID. So if you were set to go for ALC, Captain's Career course, or Warrant Officer course, but they postponed it because of COVID, all we need to get from you is the postponement notification And what we can do is we can submit that request through headquarters, and they will go ahead and remove the hold on your account so you can start taking and using tuition assistance. All right, so that's TA in a nutshell, okay? The things that we're going to go over here shortly is just additional services and resources and information. And then we're going to go into our live demonstration. So earning college credits. If you are starting out into your program and you want to know how you can basically test out of a class, there's two programs. There's College Level Examination Program, CLEP, and Dante Subject Standardized Test, DSST. As you can see here, both are credit by exam, and they have up to 30 plus exams that you can go to and take, and they are funded by Dante's, meaning the first test is free, okay? So CLEP, the subjects that they have are under business, composition, literature, foreign language, history, social sciences, science, and mathematics. If you go to the Dante's website, they actually have the complete list of these tests that you can look at. Same thing for Dante's. I guess I clicked too fast. Dante's have additional in there. They actually have technology tests. So if you're an IT person and you want to go ahead and test out of a class, you know, you can go ahead and take the DSST exam and move on to your next course requirement. So the test fees, as I said, your first attempt is free on all of the titles. Now, if you want to take the same test over again because you didn't like your score, you didn't get a passing score, that is out of pocket. There is currently, before COVID hit, there was a 3-month wait, and I believe the retest fee was about $90 per test. The test has to be completed at the National Test Center. I went ahead and gave that link at the bottom. There are 2 different types of test centers that this link will give you. You want to make sure you pay attention and click on the ones that said fully funded, because not only does Dante pay for the test, but they also pay for the administration fee. If you go for the ones that says test fee only, they will pay for the test, but the administration fee, typically around $25 to $30, you have to pay out of pocket. So just pay attention when you're looking at the site and when you're making the appointment to take these tests, that you look at what type of funding it is. All right, these are other testing programs that is available. You can use your VA benefits to reimburse you for the fees. And as far as kind of like test prep and things like that, if you go to the Dante's website, they do have a test prep program. I believe it's under online academic skills course and college placement test services is the program. Have to check that out and make sure. For the most part, a lot of the test prep programs, like if you see the flyers for like a weekend program, those things, unfortunately, the Army does not pay for unless it is sponsored by the local education center, and you see Army Education Center at the bottom of it, okay? Scholarships. Some of these I just posted. There is a lot of scholarship out there. So just because it's not on this list doesn't mean it's this is it, okay? If you actually, I went to Google and typed scholarship, one time, and I think within 2 seconds, I got like 1,500 different sites, maybe more. I actually got overwhelmed and had to close that out. But for like local region here, for instance, for the military, I am on a active duty base. So the Spouses Club has a scholarship that they open every year starting January. The DECA, which is the commissary, also have their own scholarship. AFES has their own scholarship. Some of the local newspapers also have their own scholarship for military, especially if you're near a military base and they have a lot of military folks in their area. They do offer military scholarships for family members and service members. Websites and resources, again, Dante's is in there. Service Member Opportunity Colleges is a good site. It actually provides you with the information of all the different colleges that agreed to have transferability between each other for soldiers and family members. That way, let's say, for instance, if you start out here in Washington and move to Texas, there's schools over there that will go ahead, if you wanted to transfer to those schools, will go ahead and take your classes towards the degree plan and continue on without having to retake some of them. At this time, I'm going to open it up for questions regarding some of the stuff that I went over before I go to the live demonstration. So if you have any, let me know.
Cindy, can you hear me?
I can. How you doing, ma'am?
Good. This is Starlene. I joined you late. Sorry, I had some trouble getting connected.
It's okay. What can I help you with?
Well, I don't want you to, say all that you've already said. I have two questions. Could I get a PowerPoint that you're using? Could I get that sent to me?
Oh yes, I will definitely have that. I will make it available to the teams, and I'll send you a copy.
Okay, because I'll follow up with the email. I don't think I'm on the Teams. I have a Teams account, but I could not reach you all via that link. So I had to use my telephone, and I'm offline, and I used something I found on a Facebook post on the 88th, another link. So that works. But specifically, I'm trying to hustle up, and I'm getting into some courses this summer, and I wasn't able to use TA previously because I already had a bachelor's degree. And I'm one of the unfortunate cases where my post 9/11 has expired. So I was not included, expired after 15 years. So I'm taking courses for a master's degree, and the college will allow you as an undergrad to take some. So I'm not been admitted to the graduate program. Do I have to be admitted to the grad program in order to receive TA if I'm going to take some grad courses?
No. So in this situation, because you can't, they haven't accepted you into the master's program. What we just need from the school is basically stating that, hey, this soldier needs to take these classes at undergrad level before we can accept her into the master's program.
Well, there's only one course actually that's required. There's a statistics course. The second course that I want to get in quickly, they're all coming up. One starts on the 27th of July, so I'm glad to hear that I could actually do this up until 5 days before it starts. I'm going to try to work on this, this week and next, not let it get that close. But one of the courses is a graduate course. And there's also one in the fall that is a graduate course, but I'm not in the graduate program yet. Is that required?
You can, as long as that letter says from the school that it's going to go towards your degree plan, we can use that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If I have something else, I'll hold off on any more questions for now, let you move on, but I'll send you an email.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Yep. Does anybody else have a question? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do a live demonstration. And I'm going to show you what the Go Army Ed site has as far as resources that you can use. So first things first, I want to show you is the basic goarmyed.com website. I know you guys seen this in my screenshot. If you scroll down towards the bottom, there's a lot of resources that you can use. If you look right here, they got a link to the GI Bill program. If you are part of the loan repayment program, they have a link that goes straight to them. Scholarships, you know, some of the ones that I showed you, this extends it a little bit more. If you wanted to go, if you forgot the website for your JST, all you have to do is click right here and that will bring you straight to the JST website. It also has different academic testing, personnel testing, which, by the way, we are going to have a APT webinar here at the end of the month, and Ms. Neri is the one that's going to be presenting that to us. So if you have any Army personnel testing questions, just come by and join us that day. The main things that I wanted to point out here is if you are someone and you forgot your education services, ESS, contact information, things like that, right here where it says education centers, if you just click on that one, that will pull up all the ed centers that is in Go Army Ed. So this is going to pull up active Army, National Guard, and reservists. So if you click right here, let's say, for instance, you are assigned to Fort McCoy, right? If you just click on that link right there, open up their webpage, and it will give you their information, their address, their phone number, their contact information, things like that, okay? What services they offer, and so on. So if you had any question regarding your TA, you can contact the ESS directly or contact one of the education service advisors. Or if you wanted to take an exam like a tape test, things like that, Mr. Hawkins is their test examiner. So if you go back there, that's one of the information, the education centers. The next one is, a lot of people are asking me, okay, how do I know what schools are approved for tuition assistance? So if you go right here where it says earn a degree or credential, click on the link that says schools and programs, that will open up the search window. There's two ways to search. You can search by school or you can search by degrees. Now, the search by degree function is going to pull up all the schools that we have fully integrated in our Go Army Ed portal, meaning they're what we call a letter of instruction school, LOI. Basically, what that means is that all these schools that you see in this list right here have uploaded everything into Go Army Ed. You don't have to register at the school website. You can go directly to goarmyed.com and select the class from that school, and within 24 hours, the school will receive notification that you've registered for the upcoming term, okay? So let's say, for instance, you just wanted to find out what school has a hospitality degree and you wanted to see if they have a certificate. Make sure I just put all and just click find degrees. This will pull up all the schools that have hospitality type degrees. So you can see here baking skills, food and beverage management, fundamentals right here, chef, manager. So this is one way to see which schools that are fully integrated in our system have what type of degrees. The second way to search is search by school name. This will pull up everything, our LOI schools are fully integrated schools, and our non-LOI schools are schools that require registration at the school and in GoArmyEd. Okay, so you don't even have to type in your full school name. So I'm just gonna put American in it. And by the way, I know there's a lot of search fields right here. You don't have to fill this all out. You can just leave the school name if you don't remember it and just click search, and it will pull up all the schools that we have in the system and let you know whether or not they're active or suspended. Okay, so right here where it says school type soldier, if you see active, that means they're still approved for tuition assistance. If it says suspended, then obviously that school is no longer able to use tuition assistance or get tuition assistance, so you'll have to find a different school. So right here, let's look at this one right here. This one is approved. So if you click on that information, it'll open up a new window that'll bring you to the school website. All right. If you go back right here and take a look where it says school status, you'll notice it will tell you whether or not they're public school, they're private for-profit, or private not-for-profit. It'll also tell you what kind of accreditation they have. So national, regional accreditation. And if you go right here where it says action, you notice these dashes right here. If they do not have the view button, that means they're what we call non-LOI schools. They're not fully integrated in our system. They're approved for TA, but as far as TA requests go, you do have to register at the school and in GoArmyEd separately. If you see the view button, that means they're LOI schools and they are fully integrated into our system, and all you have to do is register in GoArmyEd. If you click on the view button, it tells you a little bit more about the school. Okay, it gives you information about the refund schedule. So a lot of people ask me, how do you read this? So right here where it says 0 to 6, that means from 0 to 6 days after the class has started, the school will refund 95% of the tuition assistance back to the Army. The 5% they keep is the 5% you'll owe the Army back. Okay, so if you, in this particular school, if you've been in class and you drop it, and it was between 21 to 34 days after it started, they'll refund 50% back to the Army, and the other 50% is what you owe the Army. Okay. Also gives you an idea of what the average semester hour cost is for that schools and some of the degree programs that they offer. If you see an underline next to on the name, you can actually click on that one and it will open up a sample degree plan. So you can take a look at what this school requires for this particular class program. So for the criminal justice general, you'll notice that they'll need communication class. So 594, that means you need at least 2 classes in communications in order to complete this degree requirement. So right here where it says Army School, that's where an Army MOS, this is where your JSD come into play. So if you've taken a composition, a writing class in the military, they may give you credit in here and they'll put an X right here. If you took a CLEP test or a DSST test, again, they'll accept that towards this and could go ahead and give you credit towards this class requirement. So if you've taken a writing class in ALC or your military course, any military course, and the ACE has recommended credit towards it, then you can add it all up and see if you just need 1 class. Or if you took a test with it, then whether or not you've completed this particular degree requirement and move on to your next one. Okay. So same thing right here. Notice how it's 5.94 semester hour requirement, but they give you 5 or 6 options. What that means is that you can pick from any of these classes to meet that requirement. Let's see, where's one? So right here where it says general electives, it gives you options, and it looks like you need at least 10 classes from here to complete this requirement. All right, so that's searching for school. Another option right here, a lot of people is asking, okay, so I found a school that I want to go to. How do I find out what kind of classes they have available? Now, the class schedule search function is only available for LOI schools. Okay, so when you click on this, it will only pull up schedules from the fully integrated schools. And unfortunately, we don't have access to the non-LOI. So let's take a look right here. Let's pretend Ashford University and open status. So this will pull up all of the Ashford University classes they have available between July to September. That's the term that we selected. As you can see, there's 2,900 classes available. So right here kind of tells you when the registration start date, things like that. Once you log in, and if this is your home school, there's going to be an enroll button right here that you can select. But this is a good way for you to take a look at what classes they have available and how often they have classes. All right. On to the live demonstration. So again, like I said earlier in the beginning of this presentation, this is a dummy account. The information that you're going to see here is just basically made up. But I use this account because it's a great way for me to showcase for soldiers who are not really that familiar with their Go Army Ed account, how to use certain functions on it, okay? All right. And let's see. All right, so this is a TA eligible soldier account, what you're gonna look like. As you can see here, the Smart Link has all the different buttons that will take you to different functions in Go Army Ed. So if you're ready to request TA, just click this button and that will open up the request TA function. If you have a course planner and or if it's due, all you have to do is click on the course planner and update the information and upload all the documents that's required and upload all the classes that you have for your degree. Once it's approved, as you can see here, this one's pending. Once it's approved, you'll have a button that says enroll right here. That will allow you to register for the classes that you need for the upcoming term. My education record is a good link to look into. This will have access to your e-file, the customer tracking notes, as well as your help desk tickets. Now, your help desk ticket is also right here. Okay, and it will give you some information as to what is going on with your account, if it's gone through in one of the counselors, or if it's escalated to headquarters, whether or not somebody at headquarters has assigned. If it's been closed, it will go right here. And what I would do if it's closed is usually I ask the soldier to go back in there and review the information that was provided. That way, if there was an action that you need to do on your end, you can go ahead and do that, okay? I guess that link went right here. So if you go right here, this is your education record. If there was, under the description, it will tell you if there's additional information that you need to add in there, okay? It's a little bit slow. Okay. So let's say, for instance, you're in a class and you want to withdraw from it. You can go ahead and click this button, and it's going to go ahead and list all the classes that you're currently in, and you will select the ones that you want to withdraw from. The main thing about this is if you're in a class and you want to withdraw from it, you need to do it in GoArmyEd first. Okay, if you contact the school and the academic advisor or whoever it is, the enrollment advisor has helped you and they dropped it, they only drop it on their end. In GoArmyEd, it's still going to show that you're going to class. So if you don't withdraw from the class in GoArmyEd and the class has started, the system, the GoArmyEd system is going to think that, hey, okay, well, now we got to send the money to the school because they're still in class, and then there's going to be a whole problem where the school sends back the money, and then the GoArmyEd people is going to ask for a grade for a class that you've dropped. So you need to make sure that when you are in your class and you want to withdraw from it, that you do it in GoArmyEd first before contacting the school. To verify if it's a fully integrated school, to verify that the drop has gone through on their end, or if it's a non-LOI school, to make sure that they drop you on their end so that they're not expecting you to go to class. If you did drop a class and there was recoupment on your account, you can go right here and you can go ahead and select your payment option. Usually if you do not go in here and select a payment option within, I want to say 30, 60 days, it will automatically go to the lowest amount, which is $50 a month until the debt is paid. Okay. If you want to change your homeschool and degree plan, you can go right here under change degree /school, and it will go open the VIA tool, and you don't necessarily have to go through the entire process again. Okay. You can just go ahead and, let's say you want to stay in the same school, you just want to change your degree plan, just click on select your degree, and then you can go ahead and update it that way. Okay. Same thing, if it's the same degree plan, just different school, just click on select school link, and that will go ahead and let you pick the new school that you want to get into. All right. So again, the Peterson's online academic skills course is a good resource. So if you haven't been to school in a while and you want to refresh on your composition, English, math, or whatever the subject is, you can go into OACCPST website. It is free for military. So you just, I believe you just need to put in your service code, and it will allow you to log in and use this. There is no expiration on it. Okay, I've had my account with them for over 3 years, and if I log in there, I just need to reset my password, but it goes back to where I left off. Okay. Right here where it says tuition assistance status, this is a good, if you haven't been into your GoArmyEd account, I suggest you look at it. It will tell you whether or not you're on hold, okay? And it will tell you, okay, you're on hold for this, and then this is the steps you need to take. Contact your education service office. It will also tell you how much tuition assistance you've spent that year, and how much semester hours you've spent for that fiscal year. So in this particular situation, the soldier has not used any TA for the fiscal year. Another thing I want to point out is some of the questions I get about TA. If you don't use it, does it roll over? The answer is no. It does not roll over to the next fiscal year and doesn't double up. If you don't use it, it's gone for that fiscal year. And the new fiscal year, you start over with 16 credits, okay? All right. Do we have any questions about this live demonstration? No? All right, so let's take a look at the presentation again. So the next information that I want to share with you is your ESSs for the 88th. If you transfer to a different unit and no longer part of the 88th, but you want to know who your ESSs are, just send me a note, send one of your old ESSs a note. We'll go ahead and connect you with your new education service specialist. So again, my name is Cindy. I do cover Washington, Oregon, and Idaho State. Okay, I am located at JBLM, and I do have 2 education service advisor who can answer questions if I'm not available. At this time, we are teleworking, so if you contact them and leave a voicemail, we might not get to it until we return back to the office. So the best route for any of the ESSs, that information I provide you, is to go ahead and contact us via email. Fort Snelling, if you are in the Fort Snelling area or you are assigned to Fort Snelling, this is your contact information. Your ESS is Miss Anderson. She does have 2 ESA and a test examiner. So if you are looking to do an APT, an Army personnel test, SIFT, TABE, things like that, you will need to contact Miss Carla and submit an appointment request. She serves Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. Ms. Neri is with us here in this webinar, and she covers Fort Douglas. So she has 2 ESA, and she covers Utah, Colorado, and I misspelled that, but that's Wyoming, Montana, North and South Dakota. And right now, our South office, our Wichita office, does not have an ESS, so I am covering that section. So if you are in Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, or Missouri, and you have any questions regarding that, Mr. Rangel is also in this webinar, and his contact information is there, so that if you have any questions, just let us know. Again, I will have this presentation available into this channel after this. So if you want to download it and save it, whatnot, it will be there for your use. And if you are at Fort McCoy, our ESS there is Ms. Shower. She does have a test examiner also. She serves soldiers who are assigned to the units in MedCom, IMA, and AAD, any other soldiers that's not CONUS. So if you're deployed to Germany or whatnot, or deployed anywhere else, Ms. Shower will be your POC. UAU is the other section that she covers. And I believe that is today's webinar. Hopefully I've answered some of your questions. If not, please let me know. I will stick around to answer any questions. If you prefer to do it in private messages, that's fine. Please send me a chat request and I'll go ahead and answer. Or if you want to just send me an email, let me know how we can help you. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you, Cindy. It was great.
Thanks, Neri.
It sounded really good and very informational.
Can you guys hear me all right, though?
Yes, I can. It was
okay.
good. Yeah,
good.
No issues. Not
awesome.
Many questions, I guess, huh?
No, not today. That's all right. I figured, you
But
know what?
good.
It would be, if there was any questions, emails is open and they'll have the information too. So
yes, it was good.
Yeah.
It was successful.
Good.
All right. Send you something on email. Check it when you have a minute and let me know.
All right, sounds good. Talk to you
Okay.
later, Mary. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Cindy, are you still there?
I am.
Hey, Cindy. Yeah, if it gets a little complicated this way, asking questions, and I'll just follow up with you. But so I was trying to update my Go Army Ed site. I hadn't been in there in a long time, and I was in the middle of trying to put in a supervisor and I backspaced and then it all fell apart. But actually, I don't think the second line supervisor is important. But what my question is when I request tuition assistance, does it matter who my supervisor is? Like, do they need to approve something?
No, actually, the only reason why, because you're dual, your civilian section, you know how you have your civilian education part, they're actually integrated in GoArmy Ed. However, I don't have access to that. So the only thing that I actually worry about is the TA part. As far as your supervisor go, that's only if you're thinking of using ACTED's funding.
Okay.
Yeah, so TA wise, no, you don't need to worry about your supervisor information.
Okay. And then just because I got on kind of late, when I go into Army Ed, if I kind of want an overview of the process, what do you recommend? I'm looking at this section where it says for soldiers, request TA access as boxes, Go Army Ed tutorials, other links. Is it pretty straightforward just to go ahead and jump in, request TA access, or do I want some overview?
It's actually, yes, it is pretty straightforward. It will bring you to that page where I told you about the VIA tool. You will have to go through all those process, unfortunately, since you are starting out. But if anything, I'll also post a link to the YouTube videos I've made as far as for the tuition assistance and all that stuff. I believe I went and added, I know I created a video on how to request TA in GoArmy, and I can't remember whether or not it went, if I was able to upload it, because I used the dummy account to basically share the videos on the steps on how to do it. And as you can see, and everybody else have access to the dummy account. So we do all certain different things, and it doesn't refresh in time for me to complete certain things. But I will post the link onto this team, and I'll also send you the link to the playlist so that you can take a look at it.
Okay, and then how do I get invited to the team?
I'm not sure. I will try, because you're actually in it as a civilian right now. I'm not sure, because what I've found, which is kind of funny, that allows to use the Microsoft Teams, right? And what I found when I click on that link using my government computer, it doesn't work. But when I go to my personal one, it works. So I'm not sure if it's a firewall thing that they have here, but I can add you to the Teams. That way you have access to it on your government computer.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. That way, you know, whatever updates I have going on, I'll also you'll see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they allow us to have Teams and then bar certain functions.
Exactly. I know. Yeah.
It's like, okay, if you allow us to do this, let us do it this way, you know, fully.
You know, it's so funny because I thought this was going to go on a couple of hours ago. So I was like going in circles and reaching out to my G6, and I'm like, I can't get on. And then I found out it was actually, you know, West Coast time. And I thought, well, good. I got a couple hours of breathing room. That's why I can't see anything. But then when I tried to get back on, it was like, it wasn't working. So my phone, I had to I went to the 88 Facebook post, found it from, I don't know how long ago. And they did actually have the link right embedded. So I could just click on it. I'm like, okay, I'm in finally. But yeah. Okay. I will touch base with you then, probably if I run into any obstacles, because my first course starts on the 27th of July. So I need to hop on this quickly. And especially because my GI Bill benefits expired. Of course, I'm not happy about that. That I'm not a part of that forever GI Bill. So